So that idea, that linguistic project, has been very much, close to the heart of what I've tried to do. And clearly that, anyone who speaks more than one language knows that when you change languages, you slightly change yourself as well. That you are not quite the same person in one language as you are in another. And meanings change. For example, if you translate the law, you actually change the law, as any lawyer can tell you. So this gives you, or gave me anyway, a number of things to think about, which I've been thinking about for a long time. What are these relationships? What are those changes? Why and how do you change when you switch from one language to another? In what sense is reality shifted by a linguistic shift? And again, the novel has time. The novel has leisure in a way that many other forms do not have. And so it allows you the space to explore these things. If a screenplay is 120 pages long, it's a long screenplay. If a play is over 100 pages long, that's a long play. If a novel is 100 pages long, it's hardly started. So you have time, and that allows you the space in which to explore these things. And it seemed to me from a very early age as a reader that the particular kind of literature that I'm talking about, the literature of the surreal, was very often the literature that most clearly told the truth. Books that affected me a great deal as a young man, for instance, Joseph Heller's novel, Catch-22, a novel of linguistic insanity, you might say, but which reveals a deeper sanity. I mean, you will remember the famous passage in Catch-22 in which the catch is first explained to the hero Yossarian when he's talking to the army psychiatrist to explain that he would like to leave the army. And it's explained to him that the only way to leave the army is to be certified as insane. But the problem is that if you want to leave the army, that is clearly sane, and so you can't be certified as insane. And Yossarian says that's some catch. The psychiatrist says, yes, that's Catch-22. It's the best there is. This kind of twisting of logic, which in fact reveals something about truth. If everyone thought the way you thought, Yossarian, where would we be? He says, well, if everyone thought the way I thought, I'd be a damn fool to think any other way. He's worried that the Germans are trying to kill him, you see. And the psychiatrist says, well, it's not personal, Yossarian. They're not personally trying to kill you. He says, well, if that's so, why do they keep dropping these bombs on me? So anyway, you see, what I'm talking about here is the way in which the unreal reveals the real. And I think anyone who's read, I mean, this is, after all, the language of Garcia Marquez, so we don't need to say the ways in which those books of his tell the truth rather than escape from it. I'm thinking about the wonderful passage in The Autumn of the Patriarch, when the patriarch sells the Caribbean and the Americans come and take it away in numbered sections. Or the passage when, in order to quash the coup, he serves up his rival roasted with an apple in his mouth for dinner to the other generals. It seems to me completely naturalistic, this. And I must say I had somewhat of a similar experience with my work. People in India and Pakistan have tended not to treat these as fantastic novels, but as completely realistic novels. I remember when Midnight Children first came out, having a young man come up to me in Bombay and say, you know, I could have written your novel, I know all that stuff. And I thought, well, it's flattering in a way, because what he was saying is that he recognized the world that was being described. So there are many ways, it seems to me, of telling the truth. And the idea that the surreal or the fantastic in fiction is somehow somehow a departure from truth, which is only to be found in naturalistic realist fiction. That seems to me to be a mistake of definitions, because it seems to me that reality, realism in art, not only in the novel, but realism in art, is